Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Sabrina Stanley after her win at the 2021 Hardrock 100. How are you, Sabrina?
I'm good. Really good.
How are you feeling this morning?
I feel great. I mean, a little sore, a little swollen, but all in all, I'm super stoked.
Yeah, you should be. You were in one hell of a race this weekend.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was like over 3 hours faster than you ran
Yes.
in 2018.
I don't even know. I know like vaguely my 2018 time, but I don't know the exact split or like the exact time. But I know it was faster, a lot faster.
And how did it feel like to run 3 hours faster? Was it because of better fitness, course knowledge, just growing as an ultra runner?
Yeah, I think just experience. I mean, doing Grand Raid, doing Nolan's back-to-back, just living here, getting course knowledge, and learning how to push my body and then also maintain my body. Like nutrition, salt, hydration, and being on top of that consistently, I think was a huge help too.
Yeah. You had talked about before the race that you wanted to be pretty consistent and be conservative. But you went out maybe a little harder than...
I went out really hot. Yeah.
And that was not your plan.
No, it's not my plan.
What way did you go out hot?
I think my split coming into Cunningham, I was supposed to get there like at 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If my watch is right, I think when I looked at it, it said I got in at 1:55. Does that sound right?
That's quite a bit of difference.
I was, a half hour ahead of schedule, 10 miles in, or 9 miles in. I was feeling really good, and I felt like I was pushing hard enough, but also that I wasn't digging into a well I couldn't get out of. I knew I was going to have to like pay the price in recovery time later, but not to the extent that I would like crash and burn and it would cost me. Like I felt like this was the time to like send a message and like I'm here for business and like so I came into Cunningham like really hot.
Yeah. Did you what sparked that? Did you see Courtney or Darcy ahead of you or something early on or?
Yeah, I mean, I was still running my pace. I would say the first 4 or 5 miles. Most of the way up Dives. And they were right in front of me, and that like wasn't planned. It's not like I was like trying to hunt them down or anything.
No.
They were just right there, and it was us 3 women in a row, and they were chatting, and I was just like watching their gaits and watching how much energy they were exerting, and watching, just like studying them and studying how they were going up the climb, and using that to judge how the rest of their race was going to go, and how, anyway. And so from studying them, I felt confident in passing them. I passed Darcy about halfway up the climb. And then Courtney, I was just going to kind of like sit on her heels, but she took a wrong turn just like slightly. And so I had to call her back, and then I just jumped in front of her there. And so then once I was in front of her, I was like, all right, like, let's just let it rip.
So you must have absolutely crushed the 2.5 miles down to Cunningham to put,
I like that trail. I mean, it's a really, I would say, technical downhill. It's pretty steep, but I've ran it a lot. And if you're not familiar with that trail and you haven't ran it, like you could waste a lot of time there.
And if you are good at it, you can run pretty darn fast. It's not it's a technical that you can actually get speed on.
Yes. Yeah. And so I was just having fun. Like I felt like I wasn't going max effort. I was just having fun cruising down into Cunningham. And
when did you sort of then settle into what your planned pace was or effort was?
That was unintentional.
Oh, well, how'd you get there and where?
So my crew missed me at Cunningham. Well, kind of. Yeah. So Abby Hall was my main crew wasn't there. Abby Hall was there, and she had 2 water bottles for me. And I was really confused because I was going to switch packs. And I was so thrown off that I didn't allow myself to like calm down and accept the help. I was like, oh, my second pack's not here. I'm just going to go. And I definitely should have stopped. And so I just headed on out. And I didn't have extra salt tabs. I didn't have extra gels. I didn't have extra water. And so now I'm like at 5 minutes out of the aid, I'm realizing how much I messed up. And now I'm like, okay, now you got to like really rein it back and conserve your energy because you don't have the hydration or the fuel to get you to Maggie efficiently.
So it could have perhaps been a fortunate error?
Well... because I didn't have salt or anything, like my quad started cramping up that climb like really, really bad. And I was like, don't show it. Like just act like this is the pace you want to go at and like let Courtney pass you, which she did. And just like be consistent, don't stop when you're cramping. Like just walk with the cramps. Cause like, you're not going to get there any faster if you stop. And so, and I knew there was a creek at the top and I was going to fill my water there.
Your favorite place on the course?
Yes. Yes. And I got there and there's like 200 sheep up there or however many. Yeah. And they're in the creek. And I'm like, I can't drink this water, but I had to. And so I filled my water bottles with the GRD water. We'll see.
Good luck with that. It's not fun.
Thank you. Yeah. So I filled my bottles and that did like help, I would say like 80% with the cramping. And then I was just like, get to Maggie, and just do it as smoothly and easily as you can. Yeah. So I got to Maggie, drank an entire jar of pickle juice.
That's why there's no juice in those pickles.
Yes, yeah. There was no juice in the pickles. That was me. So yeah, I like fully stocked up on everything I needed calorie and hydration wise there. And then like suffered like gut issues and stopped 4 times to go to the bathroom on the way to Sherman and just like cleared everything out. No. Yep.
Running light.
Yep. Made it to Sherman and then the rain started. So like that helped my body like recalibrate as well to get cool again.
So it was not like a hiccup free first 25 miles.
No, but I kept telling myself, this is how Grand Raid went. Like Grand Raid was such like a disaster the first 50 miles. And so, and I always look at that as like a blessing because it kept my pace down and I was so strong at the finish. So I just like kept positive in my mind that like this was all happening for a reason. You're still going to have legs under you later. And it'll be fine.
When did you finally have like a moment that like, oh, this is going okay, or I'm back to baseline or whatever? Did you?
When I left Sherman, I think things kind of turned around there. Okay. Like yeah, it started raining. My body got a lot cooler. I was running pretty good.
Yeah, because you can run up that little couple mile grade.
Yeah, you have a little road section that was nice. And then handies, I knew. Like just, it's so early in the race that you can't race handies. It's 14,000 foot peak. So just chip away at it. And I was watching Jeff Browning, he was way up above me, and like just keep that gap and like go off his pace. And he was so consistent all day. So he was a huge help in like keeping my pace from getting crazy, which he would probably disagree with. Cause like we leapfrogged a little bit and every time he saw me, he probably thought I was running too hard, but yeah. He was consistent and I was like fast, slow.
A little sine wave action.
Yeah.
Going. Okay. Walk me through to getting to, did you have a good run down to you, Ray?
Yes. So I picked up Abby Hall, my pacer, my teammate at Grouse, and got some food in me. Felt super hydrated. We ran as much as we could up Engineer, hiked when we needed to, got to top of Engineer, and I'm like, all right, like let's rip. So we started running, and it was so fun. Yeah,
that is just a wonderful long down.
Yeah, it's a great way to just like open those hips up and get ready to like do like a nice climb up Ouray.
And do you use that section? Do you control your pace and effort enough to actually like do extra fueling and hydration, or just get really on top of that for the second half of the race?
I think I'm always pretty aware of my fueling and hydration. I mean, I would say every 30 to 45 minutes I'm putting something in my body. And then I'm also getting calories from my water. And so I'm always getting stuff in. And I would say I'm running like 75% after down that. I'm definitely not sprinting it, but I'm not jogging it. Like I'm running.
Yeah. And then you hit what you wanted to kind of push or take advantage of, or whatever you want to call it, going up Camp Bird Road from Ouray. How did that go?
So I came into Ouray and my crew like immediately informed me that like she was in and out of the aid station super quick, and so I needed to be. And I really wanted to take my time there
because you're still behind Courtney at this point.
Yes, yeah, I'm still in second. I wanted to take my time at Ouray. I wanted to eat again. I wanted like real food. I wanted to change my socks because they were wet, and I knew I wasn't going to do any creek crossings for a while. I just wanted to be like 100% because I knew I was about to like let it rip, and I wanted to like be all business and hunt her down. So I mean, I don't want this to come across wrong, but like I was so disappointed when she dropped like 4 miles up Camp Bird because like I wanted to hunt her down all night. Like I wanted her to push me for that course record, and like I wanted that like string to like guide me, like, or
that hand on your shoulder if she was just behind you. Like just it helps you.
Yeah. And so when I passed her, she was sitting on the side of the road, and I was like, like I needed you. I needed you out here with me. So yeah, it was, I mean, Camp Bird was still a phenomenal climb for me. I felt really strong, high energy, same thing going down in the Telluride.
Yeah. You get the Telluride and you pick up Avery.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you say like, how did it go when you picked up Avery?
So the climb out of Telluride was definitely my worst climb of the entire race.
Really?
Yeah. There's like 10 more switchbacks than I remember. So, and I've ran that, like that was one of my last long runs. Like I know that section, but at nighttime, I was just like, okay, this is I think like our last switchback, and there's like 5 more or whatever. It just keeps going. And then that was the first time I really started like vomiting. Was like pretty close to like tree line going up that. And so he was just like patiently waiting for me. I'm still like at this point now, like going to the bathroom way more than I would like to, and like stopping and just having all kinds of issues, and just between like vomits being like, okay, just keep moving forward, keep moving forward.
And how are your legs doing? Are they holding up all right? Or are you?
I mean, honestly, since they cramped so early on, it felt like I like maxed out squats the day before for the rest of the race. Like, 'cause I think they were so tense for so long that they were just really sore the entire race. But like I'd gotten used to it by that time. Like it just is what it was.
It wasn't getting any worse.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just keep moving, keep chipping away. And I'm like, okay, you have this many climbs left. Like I know exactly what's coming up, and just get it done. And
you also know exactly what Diana Finkel's course record splits were.
Yes.
And you were a little bit under them coming into to Telluride, and we both know that she ran a very hard first 2/3 of a race and kind of relatively struggled that second or that last third. And you were hoping to make some time up on that.
I was looking at her splits. I'm like, oh, I've got this. Like she walked it in. I can totally, like, I was so confident. Yeah, that climb out of Telluride like really beat me up, mentally and physically. So then it became, and like, again, it shouldn't be this way. I should be able to push myself without having somebody push me. But I knew how far I was up on Darcy. Like I was just like in the mode of like, get it done now.
Which was a bunch of hours. Like, unless you blow up.
Right. So we just kept moving. The climb up Grand Swamp Pass was much, much easier than the one out Telluride. And again, just like being super consistent. Calories weren't going down super easy. So now it's like I'm not taking caffeine because I am throwing up when I do that. And
you're not eating enough.
Yeah, exactly. My nutrition really fell behind there. And that was, my stomach just wasn't having it. And so now like just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
So when you get to KT, you're you're getting in there. Where were you relative to Diana?
I think I was still like roughly even with her.
Yeah.
Because I know, I found this out, like, honestly, after Telluride, or after I would say like the top of Telluride, I fell off like looking at any of my cheat sheets.
Okay.
And I was just like, go for it. And I was feeling so bad physically and mentally that I just like didn't care anymore.
Got it. So you were doing what you could. Like you weren't thinking, I got that right in the edge.
And I should have been,
but I'm sure
it ended how it ended. So like I can't. Yeah, I mean, and obviously, like every hour that passes from the time I finish to now, I like beat myself up more. Like immediately after finishing the race, I was like, I could not have tried an ounce harder. But now that I'm like looking back, I'm like, oh, you could have tried way harder here, here, and here. And so,
but you can't also nothing goes perfect every step of the way, every aid station segment, like
for sure.
But you also have Avery out there, and even if you're not looking.
Yeah.
I'm sure Avery knows what.
Oh, he did. He totally did. And I think he knew. In my mind, like as soon as I started feeling bad, I thought like, oh, I'm off course record, like instantly.
Yeah.
And I'm not like intelligently thinking about it. It's just like emotionally based decisions. And so he does know what's going on. And he was trying to push
me. How did he try to? He knows your buttons or levers or whatever it is. How did he?
I mean, at the very top of the last climb, he said, I think you can still do course record. And I was like not believing it. And he's like, can I break down the splits for you? And I was like, no. And he was trying to be so nice and tell me I could. I'm like, I will try my hardest. And this is it. And like, I don't want to know the numbers, but I will run as hard as I can to the finish. And did you or he or think when you cross Mineral Creek, did a calculation come out? Because you know exactly how long it takes to run from the creek or the Rainbow Trail to the finish. Whether I'm wrong or right, when I crossed Mineral Creek, I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew it wasn't in the cards. I still wanted to get as close to it as I possibly could, and I still ran really, really hard those last 2 miles.
You were just crushing it into the finish. Like you were full on sprinting. You gave what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're proud with that. Proud of that, right?
I mean, I was pretty upset when I crossed Mineral Creek and I knew it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You also ran the second fastest time in Hardrock history and took 3 hours off your time.
Yeah. And it was a good day all in all. Like I'm not going to lose sleep over those 3 minutes.
Yeah. What do you have coming up next?
UTMB. Yeah.
And does coming out of this give you confidence or strength in going toward UTMB?
Yeah. I mean, I never think of myself as a fast runner. I think I'm a very strategic runner. I'm a planner. And I think I run really intelligently, even though I just talked about like how I totally fell off for the last 20 miles. Mm-hmm. But I go into a race with a plan and I execute it. I never rely on speed. And so all I've done in the last like 4 months is think about Hardrock, and I haven't even looked at splits for UTMB. I haven't done anything. But now I have 5 weeks, 6 weeks to like dial it in. And
as you were talking before the race, like when you're in taper mode, you have a little extra time. Hopefully you have a little extra time. How long will you recover for?
I'm going to take at least a full week off, if not 10 days.
Yeah. And I assume after that, pretty easy for at least a little
bit.
Oh,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going into UTMB. Like, obviously I want to win. And so whatever I think is most intelligent, like I'm not looking to run myself into the ground in training. Like I'm already fit, clearly. Yeah. So I just need to like maintain it, get some rest, and hope go on as healthy as I can.
Cool. Congratulations on what was a great run.
Thank you.
And see you in Chamonix.
Can't wait.